Hey YouTube, Jason here with Day Trading Fearless. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and make sure you check out my website, daytradingfearless.com, for the weekly trade zones for the S&P futures, and also make sure you check out my Patreon page, which is a portfolio of stock dividends and options that I update as I put it on trade, so you can follow along with that. But with that being said, let's jump right into it. So today's video is going to be all about support and resistance. And pretty much it's going to be, how do we find support and resistance when we're looking at a chart, okay? So we're going to just use kind of like a 1 minute chart. Now, one of the things when you're looking at support and resistance is what time frame, and also what is really support versus resistance. Now, what I like to do is I like to look at the chart and kind of look at what stands out like a sore thumb to me, right? What I see right here is I see this low right here, kind of almost this. I also see this low. I see this double bottom, okay? And then I see this low right here, okay? Those are what stands out to me on the downside. Now, as on the upside, okay, what looks like a potential resistance? I would probably say this area right here, bounce, bounce, overshoot, fail, bounce, bounce, right? I would say these levels, right? Triple top, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I would probably say this double top. These are what looks to me for support, or for kind of resistance. These are the things that stand out to me like a sore thumb. I would even go along and say this double top here, right? Even though they're not exact, they're just levels where I actually think that if price rallies back up, okay, they're going to act as a support or resistance level. So what I like to do, and we'll just kind of go back here, and what I'll do is everyone, I'm going to draw a white line, okay? Like this right here. We'll remove this. Let's remove this, and let's draw a white line here, right? These are just price levels. As we move forward, okay, I want to look for other price levels, right? So where we drew the boxes. So we have one there. We also have one here. Okay, so if we zoom out, okay, we actually have this price level, we'll say right here, and then we will kind of remove this guy. Well, actually, let's leave him there and bring one here, and then we'll bring a price level right here, okay? So now that we've drawn these, okay, let's see what how price reacts when we get to these levels. So as we could see, price falls, we make a low, right? We make a high. As we start to rally, okay, we could, if we actually look here, you could see double top here. This low, right, okay, acted as a resistance, right? Meaning support, bounce, failure, resistance, fail, resistance, fail, resistance, fail, right? All because of this level. And then also probably because that was a gap fill, okay? But here is our resistance. So what happens at this level when we bounce, when we come back down to retest that level? Well, we could see that as we come back down to this level, you see, yes, we overshoot a little bit, but you do see the buyers step in and we bounce higher, right? So if you actually had an order to maybe get long somewhere around here, you would have had a winner at some point, right? And then price kind of bounced. Now you could say, hey, on that bounce, if we break below this low, get me all out. Well, it made a double bottom, never stopped you out, and then price continued to move higher. okay? But then price kind of eventually came down and fails, right? We fail here. But then what happens here? So we fall, we bounce. Well, imagine this is all we saw was this big bounce, right? Well, we could say, hey, if price comes back here, maybe I want to try a long, but that's not what we're talking about, because we're talking about when price fails. Remember, we were looking at the bigger picture of this, right? Meaning, as this double bottom bounced, if we came back down, could we use this as a support level? Well, price kind of came back down and we blew right through this, okay? Now, this support double bottom really didn't act. You would have had a loser there, but on the way back up, you actually saw where price came close to it and then pulled back, and then we kind of burst through it. So we slithered down like a snake, we slither right back up, okay? What that tells me is this is really not a relevant support level, but maybe it is, because if we look as we kind of slither down, slither back up, well, as we come back down to retest it, look at what price does. Now that actually acted as a support level. So if you miss this and this, but then we come back down, maybe you go, hey, let me look to enter, because it didn't work here, maybe it'll act and we could find some support later on. And that's essentially what happened. Price came down and then you saw the bounce. Well, look at where we bounced all the way up to, exactly to this low, right? All this support, and then we failed, right? Support, we kind of failed, resistance for a second. We're back above, support, fail, right, sideways, and then we fail. Well, on the move all the way back up, look at what happened. It actually acted as a resistance level to the upside. And then when we fall, we come right back down to support. It now is for whatever working. So just understand, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. Now, as we fall, maybe you go, hey, let me get long into this support level, looking for a potential bounce, front run it, and look for a bounce to the upside. Now, if price kept on going up, I would definitely be looking at these levels as a resistance. So if price, let's say price didn't do this, but it kept going up, I'd look for something like this, right? And then another leg higher, pull back, higher, right? Pull back, and then essentially maybe go all the way up to here and then pull back. So I hope this kind of helps you guys be able to identify how to find support and resistance on a chart. It's just, as you start to look for the sore thumbs, right? To sum up this whole video, I'd look for something that really sticks out. And as we go back to retest that level, like here, if we blew through, as we came back up, it should act as a resistance, meaning if we come back all the way up here, I'd be looking at this level over here for resistance, maybe this level looking to front run, because if you wanted to get short here, you could look to short here and look for a pullback, and your risk is only essentially this much to potentially make that much. So I hope that helps you guys how to identify support and resistance. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon.